Sure. Ooh, try to plop that on his head. Preston? Kyle? No, Kyle beat you by like 1 second, Preston. Max drops, you say? Yeah, it is indeed. If you have drops turned on him, dog, you're getting 20 per hour. Gonna open your game and just gonna be dun 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 dun. Boop. Droops. How you doing, Eric? He says grr. I've never seen someone type out grr before. Well, you faked my teammate for a goal, might as well fake you for a goal, opponent. All right, we gotta get that flick away. Get that recovery in. I'll let him have that. I'm Gary Busey. I've heard that. God, like with a $5 super chat. I don't know if my YouTube registered that. What? Or at least I didn't hear the noti for it. It didn't even register my super chat goal. That's weird. Okay, the YouTube is just broken for today. I guess their API is off. Oh. Fun fact, I got really weirded out that the Taco Bell sound would be copyrighted. So technically, the bell that you hear is not a Taco Bell bell. It is just a church bell.mp3 generic sound effect that I pitch shifted up so that it sounds like the Taco Bell bell. Classic red chat moment. Well, I mean, I don't know if that's the chat's moment right there. This is pretty orange team moment. I don't know why Poochie's just watching that. What was the job you got? It is, I don't want to name the company because there's only so many locations, but it is a sales position. I'm going to be working kind of like in a showroom. But yeah, they, I'm pretty excited about it. It's nice to have an actual schedule again. Also, I'm kind of excited to commute to a job. It's because one, my commute's really straightforward. It's like a 10-minute drive, so I'm not gonna be sitting in Dallas traffic for like 45 minutes each way, which is nice. I just got power-owned chat. But yeah, it is a sales job, and it does have a base income, not just purely commission, which I appreciated. Since I've had other sales jobs pop up, and they've always been like, yeah, so if you don't sell anything, you make nothing. And I'm like, that's kind of nerve-wracking. I liked their reasoning in the interview. They were like, the reason we do that is because if we don't give you a baseline salary, we found our sales people in the past would kind of be way too aggressive on closing any deal. And it would kind of make customers be like, hey, you guys need to calm down, and make also our sales people look way too pushy. Could I have put that in OpenEdge? Sure. That's not nearly as fun. Yeah, and I always kind of thought that was a similar idea, or I like that idea, is like, I don't think it makes really sense to keep salesmen on 100% commission, because yeah, it does make you way too desperate to close deals, because my sister was on 100% commission working at Neiman Marcus in San Francisco, and she said that happened all the time when you would make a bunch of money off of like sales, but then if people returned stuff, you'd have negative commission, so it would get taken out of your paycheck. So you kind of knew generically how much you bought, but sometimes you wouldn't know if people returned things. So you would have like, because she would work in high-end fashion, so like the Golden State Warriors, like wives or something, would come in and buy like $30,000 worth of clothes. So she would be like, okay, well that's $3,000 of a check. But if they return 90% of it, then it's like, uh-oh, now that $3,000 went from $3,000 to now down to $300. And so every time she was getting a check, she had zero idea basically what she was getting. And she was like, that was terrifying. Especially if you have like a slow week or there's like a big storm and no one wants to visit for like a week. And then you're just sitting there like, oh no, I have no customers. And you know that means that you're basically making no money for that week and you're wasting hours sitting in a showroom. I'm like, yeah, that kind of blows. CEO, our head coach. How you doing, Matt? Whoa, that's a scoop. Hey, Moons. Fuji, you gotta catch that. Oh, he left me the... Oh, well, that was kind of cute of him. I probably could have caught up to that. I just expect him to launch that with the might of Zeus on that one. Oh, he actually turned on that? He was getting cyberbullied like crazy. I'm surprised he turned. Pucci, I'm gonna fucking skin you alive, dude. What are you doing? Why are you panicking? What is this? What is this? You had so much time. No one is even pressuring you. This Fortnite season is low-key fire. So I've heard. I haven't. What even makes the seasons different? Isn't it just the different pass? Is there any like actual gameplay differences? Or does Fortnite just like let creators do that for them? Bro, if I got a job as a CEO, that actually would have been kind of sick. There was one job I was kind of hoping for just because I think it would keep me in way better shape, but it was a lead experience. It was like a lead experience guide or something for a place that I've noticed around Dallas called, I always mess up its name with another one, but basically it's like a soccer like venue where they hold like classes to like teach like skills and practices and whatever, and it's like an all indoor like multiple turf field facilities. And basically they're like, my job would be like greeting people as they come in and selling people on packages and all that stuff. But then on top of that, if they ever need like people, you're like fully expected to have a soccer playing background, like hop in the games and play like with guests and whatever if they need someone, if there's a pickup league or a men's league or something. And I'm like, yo. So they're like, yeah, your shift is going to be like a lot of like clerical and sales and kind of like customer service, but also like we fully expect you like to bring your cleats and like play some games if guests need you or something, or if we need someone to ref or something. I'm like, that's kind of cool. And I looked up some of the Glassdoor reviews of the company, and they're like, yeah, one thing that was great about this job is that I got to play soccer a lot, and it kept me in great shape. So not gonna lie, kind of a lit job. And I was like, huh, didn't pay that well, but I was like, honestly, I wouldn't have minded it. Came with like it'd basically be like its own gym membership. Also, I think we're gonna make a video about the most recent RLCS 2v2. They just did I don't know if you guys saw it, but Atau and Zen just won the European 2v2 and they qualified as the EU representatives for the 2v2 World Championship. And the entire event, they only, from qualifiers all the way through winning the grand final, they lost one game. And so people are saying like they went 44-1. Like, is this the most dominant RLCS event performance of all time? And so I've been digging through RLCS to figure out actually what is the most dominant and how it stacks up. Dude, some of their goals were actually I've never seen like a more cruise control performance. That's the thing that blew me away about it. Like, at no point did it really feel like Zen and Atau were like worried about losing any of their games. Like, even in the final where it's like Oski and Nas, they were kind of just chilling. Like, I was honestly shocked like how good they were. Oh. Everyone was saying like, man, Juicy's gonna get kicked because Vatira couldn't beat Zen and his teammates. And I'm just like, well, everyone's kind of rumoring that Zen is gonna leave Vitality at some point and pick up Vatira. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but if Karmine Corps or Vitality ever has Vatira Atto and Zen on a team, that's going to be such a cheat code. I'm sorry. I legitimately don't think they would ever lose again. I don't fathom a world in which that team would ever lose. Man, why are these guys like suddenly good? Either though. Musty versus Sunless. Now Sunless is doing, has anyone watched like Sunless's new channel? He's doing like history stuff or something, right? This teammate would be better if he wanted to calm down a little bit. When do we get Balatro? All right, so my job starts on Wednesday. I don't actually know my schedule yet, and I work kind of late some days. Like sometimes I could be working until like 8 o'clock p.m. So I'm holding off on the Balatro only because this weekend I had to figure out a lot of back-end life things. And so that's why I didn't stream the past like 3 days. And so I was like, okay, well, I want to give at least 1 day notice for a Fortnite stream. So I decided, okay, Tuesday we're doing that. Balatro is going to be one that I'm going to try to plan after that sometime during the next week whenever I have, whenever I actually know my schedule. I think on Wednesday I'm doing my orientation with my job, and in doing so, I'm probably going to learn my schedule for the week and the next week and all that. Going to be with viewers or not? I don't know yet. I barely know how to operate the Fortnite infrastructure, so I'll probably just be playing no build. And then maybe in the future, if there's viewers who want to play. I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, I'm not like playing for ranked points or anything. Ooh. Yeah, the Balatro stream will be sometime, hopefully this week. But again, I might have to also work weekends in this new job, so I don't know my schedule yet. You have a creator code? I do. The Danger Taco. I forgot on Twitch you can't see it, but on YouTube it's plastered. It's always kind of funny when I have a banner on my YouTube stream that just says code the Danger Taco. And people are like, do you have a code? I'm like, no, I just have that random text line for no reason. I really wish you took that back. Current 2's rank, this is just about GC3. Yeah, that's okay. Oh, we're winning. Hopefully I don't clip on him. Oh, he beamed it, that's crazy. Anyway. You just run full-on viewer Fortnite games, if that's still how it works, how it used to be? I mean, probably. People just gonna be stream sniping me all day, all game. I just swallowed my heart there. Yeah, I was ready for the double tap, but I was afraid it was gonna be one of those moments where they'd get a weak one and it would lob up, and then I would like pre-jump it, and I'd be like, the new job. It is a sales job, and we're gonna be working in like a kind of a showroom. I don't want to name drop it because there's only so many locations in Dallas, so I don't want to like give people a direct idea about where I'm working. So I'm probably not going to add this thing to my LinkedIn for privacy either. I've had some weird people kind of DM me lately, and they'd be like, "Oh, I know where you work." Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I don't like how you just Google where I work, bro. Granted, the last job wasn't that big of a deal because it was a remote job, so it's not like they're like, "Ha, I know where you work." It's like, cool, that the company's in Sacramento, so I don't live there. But yeah, excited to start the job. I talked to my manager. She's like, "Have you Googled the company at all or whatever?" And I'm like, "Yeah. I like, there's like Reddit posts about people who've worked there. There's like Glassdoor." She's like, "Yeah, well, I'm happy to know that like we outperform the estimates for like average salary for salespeople like in every district. Like Dallas, Fort Worth area is like one of the biggest markets." So she's like, just saying like pretty much everyone who works in my district is averaging like a pretty good amount within their first year or two. So she's like, if you're seeing anything that makes you a little worried, just know that that's based on like averages for people working like everywhere, as in like if you're in the middle of nowhere, Minnesota or whatever, where there's like 50 people, yeah, you're probably not going to be selling as much as someone who lives in Dallas. Mary said 10 or so minutes straight shot. So So a creepy enough person would just go back from there. Well, yeah, but that's well, yeah, I guess, but like a 10-minute radius from where I live. One, you would have to know where I live, and whatnot. So it's like, it's just a weird, because yeah, people have ways of Googling weird stuff around you. The only time I want people to know where I am is if I'm at a convention or something, like a dream hack. Then it's like, yeah, come say hi or something. Oof. One thing I'm trying to encapsulate from watching the 2v2 is how well these guys do with fake chowing and like being like absorbing pressure. It's like the one thing about twos I've never been super good at. So I'm trying to learn how to do that cleaner, is just trusting in your read and kind of like knowing when a team is going to rush a play and when I absolutely need to chow ball or something. That's something that like watching Atto, like, and Zen, but like specifically Atto, he's so good at that. Like whenever I watch him play, he like knows exactly the distance he needs to close every single time. It'd also help if I took an actual kickoff. Yes, please get that one, Sergio, thank you. Oh. Well, he got really late to that, okay. Teammate, you gotta go inside on that. You're fine. Oh, I didn't think he'd get there in time. Hello? Sergio. Sergio, don't go. Nice. Well, Matt, later. See you, Kyle. Thanks for popping in. Thank you for the $5, even if YouTube acknowledged that, didn't acknowledge it, because it's a massive D-bag. Oh. Open? Nice. They cannot read the map with the same capability MMOs. What? Navigate what stuff? Oh, that's a really good touch. And Sergio went to the corner. Brain. I hate everything about doing stuff like that. I'm not a fan of going inside and then turning outside. Why not go outside, get your boost, and turn inside at least? Then you have momentum. That spawn timing was terrible. Ah, man. They're gonna give me that flick. Post. Uh-oh, teammate. I think you might have brain damage. This is GC3, and you are definitely boosted. I would have preferred you just flick it. All right, we're gonna have to catch that. Ah, no. I was hoping he'd go high, and then I could, like, tap that one a little bit along the line. Oh, well. That's okay. Our teammate was actively MLB level Randy Johnson throwing. That's okay. He is an Epic Games player. It's only to be expected. Again, 1 in like 5. I would say when you get to at least GC3, it's like a little less frequent, but it is like definitely still like 1 in at least 1 in 5, 1 in 6 players you will play against are 100% boosted. Either that or they're having the worst Q day of their life because it is crazy the decision making that happens. Wow, We Dem Girls is not a line I've seen in a bit. I've been digging through old RLCS archives, so seeing a name like that is a throwback. I did lose a warm-up game in threes in a hilarious way, dude. We had an RLCS contender tag player in the final 20 seconds lob the ball middle twice in a row, past me on double commit, and gave them a goal for the loss. And I was like, On the first one, they were rotating back and then rotated middle, and then the last moment, they hit the brakes, turned 180 degrees, dove past me, knocked me out of the way, and then it deflected to the middle, and they scored. And I was like, all right, you know what? Unfortunate, whatever. And then the very next play was in overtime, an air dribble from the far corner. I have the catch, and my teammate whips around from the outside, knocks it middle, and then air dribbles it a pass directly to the only guy who can touch it on their team, and they score. And I'm like, all right, man, I don't know what that was, but you need to stop. Who's top and who's bottom? You guys were asking who's a top and who's a bottom? Seems like an HR complaint. I guess it is Pride Month. Oh. That's, yeah. Okay, I was like, he's gonna have to either throw it on a roll, basically, or just throw it away, so. You can land. Ceiling. I don't have boost to catch up to it. Fuck. Yeah, alright, cool. Sometimes you just have to commit violence, chat. But you'd be surprised how many problems violence will solve in your life. And I'm sure that quote will not be taken out of context. I gotta be a role model after all, chat. Oh. That's my most quotable taco. I'm doing, oh my God. I'm doing all right, and then I play threes, and then stuff like this happens, so. Meanwhile, 100 boost Emil just flies right by that one. Not Vlad. Hey, pass that middle. Oh, he actually got a really good pass off. Oh, you know what? I'll give him that. I did not think he'd get that much power on it. Partially because I couldn't see his boost. Damn, that black standard, dude. Who would use that, he says, using black standard. Oof, we are a wet paper bag on defense, buddy. Look how late this chow is. Why would you go as he's flying? Why would you not just pre-jump in front of him? That's one thing I've never understood about how people defend in this rank. In like 15, 16s. Like this, part of what makes this so hard is that I'm thinking, okay, well, if a guy's like torching you to read, you should probably play off his read. But instead people are like, what if I really pressed hard on my boost button? Would I go faster and catch up to a read that I'm behind on? It's like, no, you would just miss it. You would just straight up miss it, brother. And they're like, I don't believe you. And then they just go, and then they miss, and they're like, oops. Meanwhile, I'm back here like, well, they have to know they're about to miss the ball, right? They're not gonna go. And then I don't go. There we go. Yankees can't win the World Series. What? Who said that? Are Yankees already out of playoff contention, chat? Impressive. She's naming rosters in full the last 14 years. Damn. That's a level of Yankees autism that can't be taught. That's savant level knowledge. Ooh, okay. Ooh. You are watching a master at work. Ooh, savant and Yankees don't go together. What? Sure it does. I remember back when I watched the Yankees on Yes Network, since that was the only way to watch MLB in my household. I was a fan of Gary Sheffield, but mainly because he swung his bat like crazy in his batting stance, and I always liked that. I used to emulate that in Little League. That would be my batting stance. Hey, Jibogo. Oh! Job, you doing all right? I love Gary Sheffield's stance. Oh, I was a huge fan of it. I like eccentric batting stances. Okay, that's fine. We blocked away the most obvious. $5 to double it and give it to the next person? $5, buddy. I got bills. I'm not doubling it and give it to the next person. I am that next person. Let's not lose it here, chat. Gotta trust the process, teammate. Wow, you gotta trust the process, teammate. He's like watching me go up for a ball, and he's like, I got it! And he's like, no, buddy, just rotate back, we're fine. Wow. Ever been a chance the Mets were the second highest paid? Wait, hold on. The Mets are the second highest paid team, and I'm assuming behind the Dodgers, right? She's naming second string players from 2009. I'm in shock. I mean, you can't claim they're not a fan. Why are we greedy now? Well, partly because, Dulce, you're saying $5 to give it to the next guy. First of all, I don't know who the next guy is. Second of all, I have to pay bills. You know, I would love to have $5. And second of all, I feel like this bit just became like a thing where like no one wants to donate, so they just say $5, give it to the next person because it's a meme. It's like an old one at this point. And that way you don't actually have to donate. You just say that, and then I say, give it to the next person. And then you leave my stream and never come back. So it's kind of like, eh. So by not complying with the bit, I feel like you're now suddenly like, oh no, now I have to either give him that $5 or never come back. And considering he's not chatted since, I think he's chosen that option. Oh. Don't Mets also have the, what was it, the Bobby Bonilla Day or something, where they owe a guy like $1 million a year for the next like 30 years or whatever? Cool deal. You are a grown man and you are a child, I'm assuming? I'm so lost on what your point is. Why would you even offer me this choice if you're gonna get angry at me choosing one? You have to be working at McDonald's right now? It's 7:19 p.m. I'm not allowed to have an evening? It's funny how no one likes the Yankees, but also kind of no one likes the Mets. They used to be the scrappy underdogs, but I think because they're so well paid now, they've lost that, you know? I don't know if we needed to get him, but okay. I'll trust your judgment, Matt. Let's see him in 600 seconds. I'm a little confused by his anger here. Hey, would you want option A or option B? I want option A. What? Idiot! You're a grown man! Frick you! And I'm like, dude, calm. Like, what? Like, you gave me two options. I chose one, and suddenly that was the wrong thing. Oh, God, how dare I play along? Grr. People are weird, bro. That's why if I ever were teenagers, they would never be allowed outside the house. Can't interact with strangers on the internet or in real life. Oof, terrible. No, why? No. I wasn't a huge fan of that teammate, but that's okay. 1v1 me, I am GC. Very cool. I don't 1v1 people except on viewer game days. For 10D, I don't know if I want 10Ds. Unless they're chicken 10Ds. Get it, chat? It's not 10 dicks. Honestly, the only likable New York sports team is the Knicks right now, I think. Ooh, snipe. Well, Erich, how do people like the Rangers? Are they likable? Gonna challenge you to 3v1. 3 of yourself? Are you cloning yourself? Or are you recruiting people? I mean, there are a couple of these kids who come into my stream who I genuinely think I can 3v1. Which is why it's not interesting to play against them in a 1v1. So many people are like, yo, 1v1 me, I bet I can take you on. I'm like a platinum in ones. I'm like, that's very cool, buddy. It will be 19-0. like, what are we doing here? Zen and Vatira, damn. Explaining to your wife why there was a withdrawal from your guys' joint 401k. Yeah, from your Roth. Well, I had to hire some people. Don't ask about it. It was important. I also don't think the Jets are necessarily disliked. They're just not liked. Like, the Jets are like a sad team. I feel active, like, sympathy for the Jets. And I feel like the feeling was kind of the same for the Mets for a long time. Up until the past, like, what, 2 years? They started spending a bunch of money. Oh. Jets and Mets are kind of the same. Well, Mets have so much money. If the Jets had that much money, it'd be a different thing, you know? Money, do I want it? Sure, but I'm not gonna 1v1 you. I don't 1v1 people I don't know, that's a rule. In the stream. If we do viewer game days and it's a 1v1 day, then sure, but... That's not a hit. He stole my boost just to do that? Yo, lob me? Oh, tried the lightest little touch there. Wow, instant counter, sad. Well, my bad, teammate. This is worth 50k, losing with not an option. Do you really feel like it'd be that expensive? I wonder what the minimum amount Vatira and Zen would pay to get brought into a singular game in which they were gonna be 3v1ing a streamer. I can't imagine it'd be that high. I feel like you could probably get away with paying them like 2,000 bucks and they'd be like, sure. For 5 minutes of their time or whatever. Uh-oh, teammate, are we throwing? That's not acceptable. Oh, why would you front flip there? That's like, again, one in 6 games, chat. You'll get a player who I don't know has ever played this rank. They make some puzzling decisions. You have 0 boost. Please backflip that. Oh my gosh. I should not have taken teammates boost, but that's fine because I beat this guy. And now, teammate, you just have to grab pads. That's not great. I'm gonna. Oh my god, you didn't touch the ball! That wasn't even a fake, you just effed up! What was that? He literally just hit it right at. That's crazy. That's crazy. Alright, well. I'll take partial blame for that. I didn't need to charge at that. I knew the guy was gonna panic touch it away, so. That's not good. That's okay, he's not doubling that. Alright. Verified $1,000. Where's your line, Taco Man? I mean, if someone actually found a way to donate me $1,000, I would 1v1 them, sure. I just hate the people who say they'll 1v1 me for money, because I used to, as a streamer, do that. I used to be like, yeah, if you want to 1v1 and you want to put up money, sure, whatever. But then people don't donate. I beat them, inevitably, and then they're like, and then they leave. And it's like, okay, cool. Like, very fun to play when you can't guarantee that the actual prizing is going to be given upon me beating you. So that's why I used to say, okay, well, front the money up front if you want to play that badly. And then they don't. And then I'm like, okay, well, then clearly you can't be trusted. Because for me, there's stakes of screwing over a viewer. If I don't pay someone out on a prize, you guys have proof that I just... Okay, I was about to say, I'm like, teammate, that's unacceptable to get scored on like that. You know, it's also unacceptable, teammate, if you don't clear this now. Ooh, that's a bold chow there. Okay. I saw an interview the other day where Goo Goo Dolls were like thanking fans for the resurgence of popularity for Iris. And I'm like, what do you mean resurgence? Hasn't the song like always been insanely popular? Like, I can't imagine people ever like listening to the song being like, that's an oldie, I don't like it. I'm like, buddy, like, I don't know a single soul alive that doesn't sing at the top of their, scream at the top of their lungs the lyrics of that song when it comes on. That's a crazy way to get beat, at least as the last guy. Okay. Okay. One of the best songs ever made, legitimately. I don't know what song it was or movie it was originally made for. But I remember it was originally asked to be made for a movie. Or rather, Trent Reznor got, not Reznor, what's his name? He got brought on to produce a song, and that was one of the songs he brought up. City of Angels, yes. It's a song, it's one of those things where like the song is infinitely more popular than the movie ever was. Teammate, you gotta look up. We're gonna fake that. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, he didn't even go. That's crazy. And he gets the boost. Oh my god. All right, this guy doesn't know. He almost skimmed that. Oh my god, I would have scrumped. That's the past tense. That's terrible. Touch. That's... Wow. How did I get that much air under it? That's actually insane how bad of a touch that was. I thought at the worst that would like die if I got in front of it. I'm not entirely sure how it went out that far. Anyway. That's a bad one. Well, I make one mistake and it's the last one, so it happens. I seem to remember there being one person who really threw a fit about that. Well, people just in general throw fits because when they don't get what they want, which is why it's kind of funny, and I know that I'm dealing with children whenever they do a 1v1 thing, because people come in and they're like, hey, I'm gonna request something of you, streamer, in which I know none of your rules or any of how you operate your stream or anything about your stream or you as a person. And then I'm like, I don't do that. And they're like, what? You don't? But I have a preconceived notion of how every stream should operate. You're a fucking hack. And it's like, dude, calm down, man. Like, if you genuinely want to 1v1 a streamer, go to a stream. Literally, all you have to do is type Rocket League playing with viewers, and then you get 9 billion results of a streamer who's playing with or against his viewers. Like, it is genuinely that easy. Oh, you went really late. Hello, ZTX. It's me. It is you, ZTX Mellow. One of the best songs ever made, Argue with the Wall. Yeah, I would say Iris is definitely on that list for me. I think it's a perfect angsty song without it being too, like, this was teenage me music, you know? I think any age can listen to it and be like, yeah. Do you remember me? Was your name DP? If so, then no, I do not. Okay. I was like, I'm just gonna stay in front of it because I do not know where I need to go with that. My Skyrim is breaking slowly. That's what happens when you install 4,000 mod packs. For some reason, I downloaded Skyrim and it wouldn't accept my controller. I was very genuinely confused. I got like the Legendary Edition for like $3 a year ago. And ever since I tried to play it, it just will not work with my controller. I am the real Mello. I do remember Mello. Hello. Hey, Dijon. How you doing? How's the fam? Wait, vanilla Skyrim on Switch? That's sad. Well, the Switch is as powerful as the Samsung Smart Toaster, so can't expect it to keep up that performance forever. Oh, I became French. I missed the boost. I'm so cringe. Okay. Are a vampire, a war maiden, a goblin, a flame thrall, and then a rabbit and a bone dog. Don't need FPS when you're a stealth archer anyway. That was like, there was a huge video essay by this YouTuber called Greg the Wizard, and I agree with it so much where he's like, the issue with one of the worst parts about boxer briefs. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, chat, that's a great question. Because I used to think that was just personal preference, and I think honestly, like growing up, my idea of briefs were like tighty whities, you know, like tight like underwear that like cut off right at your crotch basically. But as I got older, I was like, you know, I want to wear boxers because those are fun. When I was like a teenager, I was a boxers guy because they were free and they gave you a little bit more room and whatnot, and I liked them. But now that I'm older and you wear fitted pants, boxers are just annoying to wear. Briefs are just the way to go, you know? I think briefs are just objectively, like, I don't see the benefit in briefs anymore. If you just get like a nice breathable like material for your briefs, they're elite. Anyway, how you doing today, Arcast? Yeah, there was a video from a YouTuber called Greg the Wizard who did this whole thing about like how Skyrim's game design is like subtly influencing you to inevitably choose a stealth archer. Because like no matter how much you want to try something else, the game is just so incentivized around that exact playstyle that it just doesn't even make sense anymore. Honestly, stealth is insanely OP. I always think they thought they should have gotten rid of all the damage multipliers on stealth, or at least like really downgraded it. Because I remember there was a, I think it was a Daedric dagger you could get in Skyrim that has something like a multiplier with the stealth tree upgraded. It's like a times 30 multiplier with a crit or something, which meant like you could literally one-shot anything with a backstab. I wrote a quick review responded at a work call. Hope all is well. Yeah, I've been doing all right. First day of my new job is on Wednesday. So we're doing our Fortnite stream tomorrow evening, if anyone wants to watch that. Yeah, we got our first day of our new job. I just did all my onboarding today, where I was like filling out all the forms to like get my W-4 together, get my tax withholding, get my benefits squared away, start exploring maybe 401k options. They got a pretty cool matching up to like 5% on it, so I'm like, all right. That's something I'll probably not do right now, but I'll probably do like 1%, and then as I make more money, I'll slowly put more into that. But, oh. They said up to 5%. If you you can contribute up to 5%, and they will match it. And then they said after that, they'll just cap it at 5. But I have no idea about the actual split. I just saw the short, just little description. Been tiered of matching percentages so far. Yeah, admittedly, I kind of ignored it because I know I'm not going to be maxing that anytime soon because right now I need money. Things will be a little less dire once I get my esports check because that will keep me a little bit more calm. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little nervous that that still has not come in yet. Especially because my car payment and my IRS payment hit on the 15th. So that's always kind of scary when I'm not getting my paychecks coming in because those are like a big day. The 1st, the 15th, and the 23rd are the 3 days where I have like big bills hit. So I'm always getting nervous when like I don't have my paycheck in yet. You have yet to receive it? Yep, $3,300 just in the ether, bro. And usually the 15th for my car payment and IRS is like $600. So trying to like square that away is a little rough. I might go to the IRS website and decrease my contribution for this month just so that I can make sure I can pay both of them because I do not want to lapse on that. If anything, I don't want to lapse, especially on my car payment though, because last thing I need is a sign in my credit history where it's like, oh, you missed a payment. But yeah, again, it's like everything is perfectly fine in my life. 10 out of 10, no notes. As so long as I get that $3,000, but the company apparently is months behind on its invoicing or whatever, so it's like really sparse. I've been emailing them every day to be like, hey, this is not like it would be nice to have this. This is like an incredibly important payment for me, so can you please prioritize me? Because I know a lot of my colleagues, they have other jobs and they're making good money, and this is just another fun little paycheck that they would like to have. Not saying they should have to wait way longer, but maybe they don't need it before me, question mark? Nope. Not gonna lie, teammate, kind of expected you to touch it, but with a username like that, I'm not surprised you're dog. 100 boost and just matrixed out of that. On for it. I don't know why he's trying to reverse me. He could just jump in air and be fine. Why are you going for that's crazy. Oh, I thought you were gonna go to the line. That's crazy. You still chilled that into the ceiling. Play their weak clear, teammate. Sure. That's zing from Zig right there. That's a great setup. All right, gotta get past that first guy. Oh, you're about to get 50'd. Holy, you're about to get 50'd. Oh my God, you're about to get 50'd, buddy. You can't let me have that. You can't let me have that. I'm huge. I wish the plane never ran. I wish nowhere to sweep. I don't do any fighting at all. Dragon landed my party of 6, and I watch his health crumble. I named Dragon in 2. Oh my. I think Skyrim for me was a game that in the time... I think Skyrim is like a game that... It's really funny to look at old Bethesda releases and realize, like, back in the day, this obviously deserved the acclaim of, like, how revolutionary a game that was. Skyrim also as a map is freaking gigantic. So, very cool. But... looking back, you realize how like janky and like rough around the edges games like that are in terms of like some of the awkward gameplay design features. Personally, hate the idea of an RPG, and the Bethesda has been doing this more and more, which I hate, is like having unkillable NPCs or unkillable things happening, which is just bad quest design. Never enjoyed when you defeat the rival faction in the Civil War, that the enemy commanders will have camps still in the outskirts of the kingdom, and then you'll just never be able to kill them. Like, you'll be able to kill the enemies, but the commanders will just go down on one knee and they're like, and they won't actually be killable. And I'm like, dude, this is so lame. I'm not talking about like that for the sake of immersion, but just gameplay design. It feels so weird to have like, oh my god, it's a civil war. What side will you be on? And then you beat it, and then it's like, oh, it doesn't really change much. Like, oh, okay. But then again, I think Bethesda games are best to be experienced kind of low-key ignoring the main story and just kind of playing it as an adventure game where you're just looting stuff and doing little side quests. My most fun with Bethesda games has not been with the main story. I can't even tell you what the Skyrim story is. There's like dragons coming back and you're the Dragonborn and you can yell stuff. And dragons are bad? I don't know. I genuinely don't remember because it doesn't matter because all my fun was doing the Assassin's Guild quests and whatnot, or, you know, having weird stealth archery shenanigans or going through the Dwarven ruins, you know, like that's what I remember having fun with. I don't think buddy, I did all the work. That's weird. Some of the series allow you killing when they make a deal with Fallout. Well, that's the thing is like Fallout tries to lean really heavily into that because they know it's a decision-based game that can't really rely on its combat. Like, sorry, Fallout fans, but like pausing the game and using VATS to aim, I always thought was such a lame version of combat. It feels very D&D almost, which I think kind of makes it kind of interesting, but at the same time, for me, as an action RPG guy, I was like, honk shoe. Like, I can still find it fun. Oh my god. I can still find it fun, but I distinctly am disappointed whenever I try to play that. That's because my wife. No, agreed. I think for that sake, I will say like that is one thing about that gameplay design that is kind of cool, is if you have someone who isn't meant like super clean on playing with a controller, especially for like a shooter. Oh my god, trying to teach somebody who's never played a shooter, like, oh, I want to learn how to play like Call of Duty when I was growing up, teaching my girlfriend how to do that. Oh my god, that was impossible, dude. Like, you forget how sophisticated a control scheme is for like even just a basic shooter if you've never played one before. Like, the muscle memory and natural intuition in your movement is so wrong to people who have never done that before. Scott, I love the part where you hesitated, went further out to the side, and then delayed your recovery. Why not just go straight back? Next objective, it needed to be daytime. Wake up across the map pissed off, and it's entirely her problem. Yes. Flick, 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 flick. Buddy, you're so freaking slow, brother. The moment you cut that is when you should be flicking it, because that's when the guy's gonna charge. You beat one guy, the guy in goal either waits in goal or he charges. Either way, you flick it. Instead, you waited until he chowed and then flicked. Like, at that point, you might as well just 50 it. Just click head, exactly. That's louder to play through Fallout 3 and a bit of NV, just slow down things and pausing it. Yeah, see, that's the thing is, like, I don't mind VATS in that sense. For me, it's like when I'm trying to play, like, gameplay, like, fluid gameplay, I don't want to slow down and do, like, oh, pick your spot. Like, I'd rather have to aim and trust my aim or whatever. Which is kind of what Starfield tried to do, but apparently, according to some friends and some reviews I was watching, apparently Starfield's gunplay felt, I don't know how it feels right now, but apparently it feels like horrible. Like, Nakey Jakey had a review on Starfield where he said, like, literally if you play a game from like the orange box, the gunplay feels better. He's like, I don't know who the heck designed Starfield's gunplay, but they have never played a first-person shooter before. He's like, it feels just janky as hell. I'm like, that's kind of a red flag from a console seller. No, yeah, teaching someone how to use a game like that, or operate a game like that, like how to use a left stick to move and a right stick to aim is a very weird thing when you think about it, when it comes to someone who's never done it. It's literally like asking someone to play co-op and wondering why they can't do it well. That's like the best way to describe it to me. Like, why aren't you immediately good at it? It's like, because I haven't had years and years and years and years of practice. Oh my god, if you clipped on that, I wouldn't have been angry. Truist? Isn't that a bank? Okay, buddy. I was like, you're either gonna have to get that away or I am. Interesting. Ball right at you and you lob it forward. Interesting. Interesting. If he just took his time, he would have hit it at the corner. People just know. Yeah, that was a whole Twitter post about that I thought was interesting. He's like the intuitive language of games, you know? Like explaining what a HUD is, knowing that green is stamina, orange is like, or red is health, you know, like stuff like that. Blue is mana in an RPG oftentimes. Like tiny things like that, you just don't know. So when you're like, oh, watch your stamina, people are like, what? Meanwhile, you could hop me into pretty much any RPG and I would probably intuitively understand what each stat was on the HUD and whatnot, you know? And I was like, yeah, there's like an intuitive language of design in games that does not cater to the beginner if you don't know that stuff off the rip. Look behind the waterfall. Yeah, the treasure being behind a waterfall is a good one as well, yeah. Also people like her who also need the paint on ladders and whatever. That was always a complaint I thought was kind of stupid, where they're like, why would this freaking ancient cave have spray paint or whatever on the ladders? Why is it bright yellow? Do they think we're stupid? I'm like, dude, does it actually take you out of the game that much? Also, I'm not gonna lie, I've definitely been in RPGs that don't do that. And I have definitely been lost in some levels where I'm like, where the hell am I supposed to go? And then finally I look, and in the back right corner, there's like a level design thing that looks a little janky, and I jump up there, and that's the way I was supposed to go. I'm like, I genuinely wouldn't have known. So I kind of like it when games do just hold your hand like, hey, you are supposed to go this way. Cough, cough. And there's some games I've seen that do really well, where they'll like hide... Yeah, my bad. Where they'll like hide the way up a little bit behind foliage or something. I thought, honestly, Crimson Desert does this pretty interestingly, where they'll like give you hints like that, but they'll also hide it behind certain things. Like you have the ability in Crimson Desert to focus the sunlight off your sword to be able to create like kind of like a magnifying effect to like you can light stuff on fire with it. So if there's like a bunch of like thorned bushes or whatever in your way, you can just light them on fire to burn them out of your path. And that's how you can like unlock certain puzzles or get past certain sections. And I'm like, that's like a cool thing to think about in a game of like, it's kind of like Zelda-esque where like you get given a tool and in any given moment, it might have been 40 hours since you last used it, but you're like, wait a minute, I do have something I can do here with that. Any game, I think, that has that discoverability aspect of the design is instant, like, S tier for me. The moment you have a hidden RPG where you're like, can I do this? And then you try it and it works, is immediately like, ooh. It's that, like, frictionless gameplay intuition that I love. What? That's kind of insane, Trist. That's kind of insane that you didn't... What? What's 2's rank? This is... Let's see, we've lost past 2, so I don't know anymore. Hi, GC2. Buddy. Buddy! 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 What? You took this from me to do that? You demoed a ball rolling to the court. Why were you lead demo? It was going to the court. What? Why? What were you trying to do? Your tag says RLCS on it. Oh my God. I have no idea what I just witnessed there. Again, chat, 1 in 6 players is boosted. I'm convinced. I'm convinced. That's not a chout. Well, it's especially sad I got caught on the goal because I didn't expect him to whiff. But again, Truist, what are we doing? I need you to touch. I need you to touch the ball. Okay, you got your 100. That's fine. Dribble and pass. Oh, not behind me. Unfort. MLB level throw. Am I playing with someone? No, I wish I was. Holy bot. Anyway. Want to run it? I do not play with anybody I do not know. The best way to test if someone games or not is put them in a Minecraft world and see what they think they need to do first. As someone who's never played Minecraft, I would assume collect materials, but I have no idea. I don't know what you would need to do. The only thing I know about Minecraft is that you mine stuff and then progressively you can build things that allow you to build more things. And then there's night where creepers come, so you need to build like a shelter or whatever. Actually, I'm not entirely sure. Because I think you start with the pickaxe, right? Like that's your default tool. I don't know what happened there. I'm GC2. I don't care, buddy. My rules, I do not play with anybody I do not know. Hi, can we move on? Nope, just got done explaining that. I do not play with or against anybody I do not know, except if it's viewer game day. I'm confused why no one just plays their own rank and then asks if anyone wants to play. It's always curious how they come into a streamer's chat and ask if they want to play. Jay-Z, I'd like you to get back. That's not a reset. Oh, okay, you're this type of twos player. All right, we're playing against the guy we just lost with, so we're gonna have to win this one, chat. Get our MMR back. Yeah. 100-mile-per-hour speeder right down the middle, kind of throw you. Did you see the, I don't know if I posted in the Discord, but there was a guy, he gave up a homer, and they said, someone quoted it and said, "This might be the worst professional pitch I've ever seen in baseball." And it was like a changeup right down the middle, like 77 miles an hour, and it was just immediately belted. Like 400-foot homer type thing, like a double-decker type homer. And I'm like, yeah, that is a meatball of meatballs. That is just a fist-sized meatball right down the middle of the plate. I always liked Randy Johnson had that pitch where he would lob it at like 60 miles an hour. Like out of nowhere, he would just throw like the most devious changeup you've ever seen. And the batter, you can see them like processing it, and he genuinely wouldn't know how to read it. They'd like tense up and then pause and then tense up again and then pause again, and then they would just land right in the plate. And they're like, oh. And the hitting coach is just looking at him like, buddy, swing at that. It's like, I just didn't see it coming. It's okay. Okay, we had to, have I lost 17 games straight? Why has Jay-Z or whatever not touched the ball in the past like 15 minutes? This guy scored our first goal by just crashing it, and after that, I just don't know where he is 90% of the time. All right, we're gonna play a little bit more calm now. Now that I don't know if I can trust this guy. Why are you upfield? Bump him. I was gonna bump that guy, but okay. Not a huge fan of going for the bump when it's from the side like that. You kind of misangle where we're going here. Oh, Truist, now you can finish on an open net. Okay, I see how it is. Ugh. GZ's going for a bump instead of getting straight back. This guy is otherworldly. Otherworldly good. Not gonna lie, chat. All right, we can't rely on him at all. I am going to, therefore, ignore him and play this like a 1v2. Oh. Okay. With a bump, that's a goal. Aw. Hook shot that. I mean, smart. He hit it low. Teammate forfeit. Interesting. Literally a 1 goal difference, but okay. Did you go to the far corner? Yes, you did. All right, we're just gonna flick that high, steal that boost. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. I'm gonna pause. I do not want to get him again. That is a guaranteed loss, holy. Yeah, just not a huge fan of playing games out like that. We have lost a lot of MMR twos, chat. We're down like 30 today. We're just like, it's just a lot of teammates who like, this is a definition of players who like to play teams where they just like to play a team game like twos by just chasing the ball as heavy as possible. And so their definition of twos is just playing fast and in the opponent's face. The problem is they're giving away counters all the time. And if you noticed, my man never had boost. Like not a single time had boost. Which means you give away a lot of counters, which means you give away a lot of random reads. And I'm just sitting here like, oh, I kind of expected us to not deal with that. Also, that last one, teammate has 0 boost, but the ball's hit right at him. I'm like, okay, he's gonna lob that directly up. He's gonna put that to the far corner, or he's gonna put it right into the path the only guy who can hit it. Let's see, watch this again. Put it at the corner, put it at the sidewall, kill it in place, either way. Didn't mean to do that, maybe. I know, Fallen, don't worry. Yeah, you gotta jump. Nice. Nice. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Not a bad touch. This guy's gonna probably try to air dribble that. I'm gonna off ceiling because he's probably gonna hit it. Try to speed it up. Yes, sir. I'm gonna stay around this because I think he's gonna try to catch it. Yes, sir. Oh, that's annoying. We're gonna back up in the last second. Oh, let's roll it to. Oh, teammate, you didn't want to go for that. Sad. He's gonna beat me. Great flick. It's fine. Teammate just needs to not bite. Oh, he's boost sitting. It's fine. All right, we're just gonna lob that back post. It's fine. Fallen catch. That works. Oops, that across. I don't think GX settles that, so I'm just gonna rush. Oh, I did not realize that was wide open. That guy not only whiffed his touch, teammate demo the goalie. I was like, oh, whoops. Honestly, probably could have caught that. That's not a problem. Aye, that was a really good shot by that guy. What the heck? $50. Perfect. Hold on. That's fine. Just gonna rush that. Nice. Just never has boost. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the more irritating things about playing twos is that it is a super dependent on your ability to get covered for. Ones is basically just moving the ball, buying time for your teammate to catch up to you on offense or defense. So when you're playing with a guy who can never get behind when you're on offense or never get back when you're on offense, it's always very frustrating. Because at a certain point, you're kind of just sitting around like, what am I doing here? It also throws off your tempo because naturally in twos, you want to be able to be like, All right, here's my shot. Here's my follow-up. I'm stealing some boost, getting back, and my next guy comes up, and then I get behind him, and then it's like a natural flow, very free form. You're just kind of feeling things out. But when you have some guy who's taken 90 minutes to get back because he used all his boost to take a 50 on a position in which there was zero, like negative chance even, that he was ever going to succeed in that position, then it's like, okay, buddy, why did we do that? Like, let's recap here. Hitting that hard because it's a hard read for that guy to reach. I'm just gonna lob that one to slow it down. I have no idea where Frico. It's actually a good touch by him. Good save. We're gonna flick that early because I saw him jump. That should be a bounce. I'm gonna play off him. No, teammate rushed it. That's okay, teammate. You didn't know what I was doing. This guy's gonna rush me. I'm gonna just take no jump. That's fine. Yo, lob me. Oh, you pansy! But he could have lobbed me so hard, and that would have been such a sweet setup. I don't know how close you are. Oh, he's pre-jumping. It's fine. Oof. Okay, let's get double by him. That's probably a goal. Oh, never mind. They don't know I don't have anything, so I'm just gonna pause for a bit. Nice. Woo! We're gonna pause there. Oh, hello. Hello, Dubious Duggar. Is that national championship caliber winning Dubious Duggar of Biglerville High School from Pennsylvania? Don't call it an upset. Oh, that. Okay. Took a whole 15 games for that guy to get back. A little bit. 22 seed. 22 seed was actually pretty criminal. You guys had a crazy run. By the transitive property, you guys beat the first, second, and third seed in that bracket. No, I'm not gonna lie. I thought you got more of a bump on that teammate. My bad. I'm gonna fake that. Nice. Yeah, 22nd seed, winning the national championship for Play Versus. You guys were solid. I was shouting up your coaching for a while because I'm like, I think mechanically it felt a little bit lopsided at times. Because I would say the Bob Jones High School, those guys were locked in. They were getting good touches. They're mechanical. I know Fish is a super high-ranked player, but yeah, everyone in Biglerville looked really good. So ultimately bounced out very cleanly. All right, we're gonna take a soft touch just because, yep, they're gonna panic touch it. All teammate has to do is jump. You gotta jump, you gotta jump, you gotta jump! You have to jump! You have 60 boost, it's right ahead of you! Why are you delaying it? What do you think is gonna happen? God, it's so painful playing in this frickin' rank, dude! These are diamond level issues we're dealing with here. And DCC, the defending champions, Detroit Catholic. Holy fucking throw. I cannot buy a game today, chat. Oh, dude, it's so painful. It is so painful. I actually didn't know it was a reverse sweep. I did see it was a 4-3. Yeah, you guys had to fight through a lot, though. Super fun grand final to cast, though. I'm not gonna lie, I had no idea what you guys' current roster looked like, and I had no idea what they looked like either. So, on Bob Jones. You can't forget the reverse squeeze. Well, I mean, I didn't see. I was only going off of broadcasted games and the Play Versus website, which I don't think shows game by game scores. If I'm not familiar, so I could only see the final results. In Bunch, I didn't recognize Bunch. I knew Blah. I've played against Blah, so I'm like, I know he's good. And then I double checked to see if it was the same guy, and I'm like, yep, that is the same Blah. He is very good. But I don't think I recognize Bunch. I remember casting HSEL a while back, though. The one downside of high school casting is the fans and parents tend to be very involved. And I remember casting Prosper versus... some school in Pennsylvania. Can't remember exactly who, but Prosper was getting absolutely worked one game. And so me and my caster, Bepic, our co-caster, we were basically just commenting on that. We weren't saying Prosper's getting worked. We were literally just saying, like, Prosper's playing a little too slow. I think they need to step up the urgency. Like, they're just da-da-da-da. And then the viewers were all like, I can't believe these casters are hired for this event when they're so clearly fans of the other team. I'm like, ah, yes, me, Danger Taco, guy who grew up in New York State, guy who lives in Texas, is a huge personal fan of a 2,000 person school in suburban Pennsylvania. Yes, that's me, huge fan of them. Because of the obvious massive fan base this small ass Pennsylvania school had. Like, do you hear yourself? Like, you actually think I'm biased toward a school I never attended and know no one at? Like, what are we doing? Calm down. Sometimes your school just stank and the analysts are gonna call it out, all right? We weren't even being particularly mean. I was just genuinely calling out that they were too slow and I think they're playing passive. And that was it. That was, like, I think about as critical as I got. And the chat was acting like I was literally saying, I think they should just, like, kill themselves. I think these people should genuinely not deserve to live. Like, if I was saying that, yeah, call me out. But I was literally just being like, I don't really like the play style here. They're looking like they're, you know, scared of the ball sometimes. They just got to challenge faster. And they're like, sounds like they're telling all the Prosper players that they should be euthanized. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Bunch is my son. He was in the 8th grade when you cast our first state title. Ooh, neat. Well, good job for him. That means, well, if it was 8th grade when I first cast our first state title, what would it be now? Sophomore? I don't remember the last time I casted PSEL. I think it was 2 years ago. I could just cast nicer. I mean, I can try. That's like one criticism I've never enjoyed of casting is, why aren't they critiquing both teams? Okay, but if Northwood is playing like a D3 level school of CRL, you know, like if Northwood, a team of 3 rank X players, is playing 3 1600s, what am I going to critique Northwood on? Oh, they should allow more goals. What? Like, no, like genuinely. That's like a hypothetical I like to give to people. You know, like genuinely, give me something to critique. And if I don't critique the other team, then fun fact, I'm not doing a good job. Like, being only positive is the most bland milquetoast casting. No one would enjoy that. That was me going for something really stupid. We're not gonna do that again. Jump, please. Whoa. Were you an MLE? No. I was a caster for their playoffs like one season because they needed to fill. And I was like, all right, well, sure. That was kind of fun, but no, I've never played, I was never in MLE proper. I knew a lot of people in MLE, but, oh. That lack of surround sound really come back to haunt me, chat. Is this 2v3? What's going on here? Oh. I gotta stop queuing 3s by myself, chat. This is actually unwinnable. Holy, yeah, that's the wrong direction. Ven, you gotta hit that Ven. No, why would you? That is such a weaker touch, Zazu. Isn't Zazu the toucan from Lion King? That was surprisingly good. This is pretty low right now. We're taking too much time off the game. I think this is like 1500s 3s. I have no idea how to read this game mode. Everyone is so insanely slow. 3's has also been like ravaged as a game mode. Like to make, if you're SSL, I think you're immediately like top 50 in the world because no one plays this game mode anymore, which has left everyone else just terrible. Yeah, get me out. Oh my gosh. Favorite CRL caster critique I got while I was playing CRL was how it was all H and Nomad, and I was just on the pitch when Jorby mentioned Nomad's veteran experience being the reason we were winning when I had a hat trick. That's hilarious, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, honestly, I love the CRL guys, but there was a point in which the CRL casting was actively really bad, just because the RLCS guys were making a balls ton of money from RLCS, and I'm just gonna say they did not really care about CRL. Like, it was pretty ridiculous. And you could tell because it would be like, I don't know, like, I'm trying to think of a matchup specifically. It would be like Akron versus like Reticence Tristan's Buzz Akron against like, trying to think of like the specific matchup. It was like Seton Hall, and they were just like, I'm gonna go with Seton Hall. And they're like, why? It's like, because of vibes. And I'm like, that's not a fucking pick. Like, what are you talking about? You know, like, I'm like, no, you're gonna pick Akron because they're obviously a better team and there's no reason not to. And then the team would proceed to get 0-3'd, and I'm like, listen, like, I've had picks on desk that I genuinely believed in and I got wrong. But I have never just been like, I don't know, I just feel like this is gonna be a pick. And it's just very clear that they woke up, they walked into the green room, and they didn't read any of the stats. They were not looking at the table. They didn't know the rosters well enough, and they just picked a random team. And I'm just like, I always hated that. And I'm not saying they always did that, but there was many a time when I was on B stream, and it was just very clear the A team just did not give a crap about certain matchups. And I'm like, okay. I don't think all of them did that. A decent amount of them did their homework, but there was definitely a handful of them where I'm just like, I was like, just rolling my eyes. I'm like, these people are not earning a paycheck, holy. That must have been really funny, Erich, when you're scoring a hat trick. You're like, I wonder what the casters are saying about me. And they're like, man, Erich is really getting carried here. You're just like, poor man. Akron's a cool city. I don't know if I've ever been to Akron. I'm looking for the clip. I found a VOD. Like, you go to Wikipedia and find it. I mean, most of those should be timestamped. Oddly enough, my favorite CRL memory was back when Bubbly Reaper and I did not know each other. We were not friendly. So I played him in SSL once in a while. Or this is pre-SSL. But I was playing him in like 1900 2K MMR, and he thought of me as a player that we always lost together, which I don't think we did. We definitely lost a decent amount, but I think we just had conflicting playstyles. And he accused me of being boosted, and apparently while I was streaming, when I was in grad school, we were streaming our CRL quals, and he was streaming his team CRL quals. And someone's like, oh, we're playing Danger Taco next. He's like, dude, I'm gonna be so pissed if I lose to Danger Taco. That guy's actually boosted. Like, he pays people to boost his account, which is funny because if you guys have followed my stream long enough, I almost exclusively solo queue. So like, to accuse me of boosting, I'm like, when would I ever find the time to be boosted? I only play when I'm on stream. So we played them, and then I think I ended up averaging like 2 goals a series. I think we ended up going to game 5 with them, but we like blew them like crazy out in the last game. It was like 8-2. I remember tweeting about that. That was the first time I've ever like sassy tweeted on Twitter. So I was just like, dude, how dare you get clipped calling me boosted and then just get absolutely farmed in the last game. One of my prouder moments. Shout out Justify and Dan the Man. Fun times playing with the boys in Summer Series. Number 1 team in Division 2 CRL. Oh. Wait, Dayton's in Ohio? I always thought Dayton was like in Indiana or something. Sorry, team. I'm just faster. Why are you clearing it right into me? Okay. Want to hit that around him? I didn't actually know there was a guy there. I was just kind of hitting the back post and maybe a little bit wider, just to make sure. I'm glad Abby was there. Where is Ohio University? Is that in Columbus? Or is that Ohio State in Columbus? In Athens? Okay. Thank you, the many Ohioans in the chat. Ohioans? Ohioans? I personally think Ohio should have an Ohiopolis. I feel like that would be very fitting. I don't know why Indianapolis has the Opolis. You went there? Hey! All right. Shout out Ohio. The fighting Bobcats? Wildcat? Are you guys a wildcat? I remember them being like some kind of small furry creature. Bobcats, okay. Yeah, a lot of Opolises, but not Ohio. Is there any Opolis town or city in... I think you can't have a town with polis. Isn't polis like Greek for city? Like, it'd be weird to be like Craigopolis, and it's like 10 people. It's like, that doesn't make sense. I almost say with Kent University. Shout out Kent. Whoa, Interstellar. That's been a while since I've seen that one. I remember when Interstellar, or the Interstellar decal first came out. That was like highly sought after. I remember getting one. I remember getting one in a pack, and then trading for that titanium white, and then eventually someone wanted it on a trading site that I posted, and I got like 60 keys or something like that for it. I was like, hell yeah. Or credits, or whatever they're called now. Only OGs remember keys. I can't believe people actually were out here to this day. They're like, I miss keys and paying to open one crate. I'm like, nah, bro. I like being able to know exactly what I'm liable to get. I never liked the idea that I could pay money to get a common. What a pass and finish. Wow. I'm currently at PSU. I boo OSU. I remember paying $20 to get nothing. Exactly. That's kind of my thing. Like, I'm not a fan of paying that much money just to get like 20 commons. Teammate, you and I are on the same wavelength, but not in a good way. What is this phenomenon lately with players not knowing how to shadow? Why are you directly in line with the ball? Why are you back flipping it? Just side flip into it. You're fine. Okay. Oh, yes. Love missing the corner boost. Huge fan of that. I'm such a bot. I will say them adding in the ability to trade up things that you have duplicates of was a great move, though. I'm not going to lie. All right. It says on your left. Oh, I screwed up my kickoff. My bad, teammate. All right, I'm trying to see what kind of team I'm playing with. This is the very passive one, so I guess we'll have to play off that. It's okay. That's not okay because you're a little delayed on that. Okay, we're good. Bonk. Uh-oh. US looking actually halfway decent. I will say it is actually insane though, watching the US and getting like these, like them against Senegal. They had like this one buildup that was like absolutely gorgeous through the midfield with Weah and McKinney. And then they pass over to Balogun and he just belts it directly at the keeper on a wide open shot. And I'm just like, you're our striker. You gotta at least get that close to a post, buddy. Like, I'm sorry. And then the ball gets ricocheted around and he gets another shot and he hits it directly at the keeper again. And I'm like, okay. I got so excited at that whole movement. And then when I watch Balogun's finishing, I'm like, yeah, this man is not scoring this World Cup. I'm sorry. Like, this man is just terrified. I think, Ream in the center back position for the US is pretty good. He's old, but he's got good instincts. I just don't know if he's fast enough to keep up with, you know, the best players in the world in their physical prime. 'Cause he's like 36 or something like that at this point, like as a defender, a center back. Yeah, we'll get it straight back. Well, we're gonna rush this. Your post? Ah, I could have gone higher. Are you gonna watch the World Cup? If I can. They're renovating Toyota Stadium where the FC Dallas plays, just north of me. Honestly, I was kind of excited to go to World Cup events, but dude, those tickets, oh my God. I'd have to first commit to the idea of having a newborn son and then immediately signing over the deeds to his life if I wanted to afford those. Actually insane. It's like people are going to NBA Finals. Oh, what a 50. You turn on that? You 50? Good job. Uh-oh, that's a really bad play by you. Why would you go for the bump? Anyway. Practically ancient. Well, I mean, in terms of internet, you know, actually what I thought was kind of mind-blowing is how much more elite athletes can age. Like, obviously we think of LeBron, but like Messi is still like playing insanely well and he's like 36. I think Ronaldo is 38 or 39 or something like that. Messi might even be older than that, but they still look really good. They have to conserve their energy, obviously, but like they still look pretty elite. I was playing Madden the other day, and there's a feature in the franchise mode which I was asking for them to add for years. I don't know when they added it, but it's cool. You can do something called a fantasy draft where like basically it starts up a franchise mode and then it shuffles. It takes all players off every roster and then you draft as if you're building a whole team from scratch. So like every quarterback in the league is now in the pool or whatever. And so you can create truly organic, original teams for every team. And I like doing that because I think it's fun. But when you're drafting a player, obviously I want to draft like a somewhat young player. But I look at like a defensive end that's got like a 91 overall and I recognize him as like, oh, he's an elite guy. And I look at his age, he's like 36. I'm like, wait, this guy last season was the absolute menace and he was like 37 or whatever. Like, that's insane to me. Like back in the day, once you got to like your your early 30s in the NFL, your career was starting to wind down. Like the fact that you can play defensive, like a DE position where you're constantly physically engaged and hitting against people and straining yourself, that you can be that old and still be elite is wild. Because it's not like, you know, with like Messi and whatever, like he can kind of like walk around the pitch and not be super energy, like high energy expenditure or whatever. But the thing is, like, you can't do that. You can't take plays off when you're a defensive end or whatever. Is that Messi's a robot? I can believe that. It's also funny to see how much his teammates respect him Like, he could be 51 and he would still have a spot reserved on that Argentina team. Well, what's great about Messi is that he's got great acceleration. Even though his top speed is definitely taking a hit when he's gotten older, his acceleration and touch is still so good that when you watch him in the MLS, like half his plays aren't because he's actively just like destroying the other team with his sheer physical talent. He's just really good at finding his in and out of knowing what angles to take. And then obviously he's got just great vision. Whoa, Vac G, been a while, homie. How you been? Hey, how is it? How you doing, Vec? First stream in like 6 months, getting back. Yeah, I was about to say, I'm like, I hadn't seen you online in a bit. Hopefully that's going well. I don't know what your MMR is lately, but I've been enjoying the fact that 1 in 6 of my 2's games are almost like certainly a boosted player. Oh, that's scary. Yeah, I was like 1705, 1710 to start the stream, and then it has just been slow descent since then. A lot of MLB level throws. No more bots for teammates? Well, not in the new sense. I'm actually really impressed with Psionics. I thought their bots would take at least like a couple weeks to get out. The fact that they literally issued EAC and immediately I did not see any bots like ever again is crazy. How the games, they were starting off pretty well. We're starting to get a decent number of throws to, oh, that was not the touch I wanted. All right, well, I can't be talking about throwing when I'm also not playing clean, so. They'll be back? They won't. Like, they might have the... I know a DDoSer got through the other day. Someone was in Epic Discord said that in a tournament, but I think the EAC, it adapts too fast to make it worth those hackers doing this. The thing is, people... I just thought it was really funny that people were like, oh my god, in the hacker discords, they said they already can bypass it and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, really? The guy's dependent on people buying their non-refundable hacking subscriptions is saying that you should keep buying it despite EAC? I wonder if they have a vested interest in telling you that. Like, but do you really think these people are gonna say, hey guys, yeah, unfortunately the jig is up, stop paying me money? Like, these guys are making so much money month to month. They're not just gonna let that gravy train stop. Go. Boo. No one loves you, Sir Washed. Life finds a way, except it's not life. I mean, hackers will be pretty creative, but I just don't think any of them are going to dedicate enough time to beat out EAC. Especially if it just keeps getting patched over and over, because the whole appeal of EAC is that it adapts quickly and detects things faster. So it's going to be very hard to violate that and find a consistent workaround. Why you're taking it off me when you have nothing and I have all the boost? Like, I just can't believe, like, deep in my brain, I don't believe these players are truly GC3. I just have never seen such consistent, this is a diamond player type decision making. It's just baffling to me how often this happens. Like, I'm playing these 100 boost, by the way. Like, is this a prank show? Am I being pranked? What even flip? Oh, whoa. Sorry, that was me. My finger slipped off the left stick. I tried to wipe it. It's okay. We were winning this. That was genuinely unwinnable. And that's going to be our first abandon of the day. Holy crap. That guy actually thought we were going to win that. I don't care if it's if it's a 2-goal difference. That was not winnable. Air getting messier. Well, yeah, because I keep freaking running my hand through it out of frustration. Teammates would do in D3. Well, yeah, but that's the thing is like 1 in 5 games in GC2 and up is a boosted player. It's player. If you look at their rank ladder, like if you go to their RL tracker, it's like they hit their all-time peak in like 50 games or whatever 3 months ago. And ever since then, they have never had a positive session ever again. I'm like, you know how you naturally never win go positive ever in 3 months straight? It's almost like they got plopped in a rank in which they don't belong and are slowly losing every single game. Like the bots did such a number on those accounts. It's insane. Like you'll play a lot of games where like, oh, but teammate's pretty solid here. Oh, teammate's pretty solid here. Teammate's pretty solid. And then you'll occasionally get a guy who, it's not just that they're like a little off. It's like everything about their gameplay is just atrocious. And so it's like, you're a little, for me, I'm like, it's a little like, that's a little suspicious that you're actively like the worst player I've ever seen in your life. Anyway, I'm also starting to play a little bit worse, but I can also feel my stomach rumbling, so I think I might need to go eat something. So we'll get back, and I think we'll do next L once we serve our ban. Oh, bonk. I also need to finish scripting my YouTube video. I got a couple in the books. Yo, one of these videos, though, is going to be about GK esports. Dude, this is the messiest season. I swear to God. I don't know if you guys are watching what's going on with GK, but they start the season with Seiko, Joyo, Appjack, and then Ixo as their coach. Keep in mind, this is a team that went to Worlds and finished top 6. I think actually they finished top 4 at Worlds. And then this season, they start with, again, Seiko, Appjack, Joyo, and Ixo, who's a great coach, who just, again, got them their org's best ever finish at Worlds. And not only do they not play well, but they have like an okay split one. They finish, I think, 9th, 12th at the major, and everyone's like, okay, that's whatever. Then meanwhile, Seiko gets kicked. Arguably the player that played the best on LAN. Okay, that's okay. He's probably just washed. Goes to Man City, immediately makes them better. Okay, let's bring on Tempo. Plays 2 more opens. You know what, Ixo, you're gone too. Kicks him from the roster. Not a roster decision. That was the org's decision to kick him. And almost every pro and Joyo even publicly in their replies going, huh? And then after that, Joyo is simultaneously kicked while they pick up Bitzer mid-season, a month before the LCQ, and then today it was announced that Alpha 54 will be the 3rd. So it's now going to be no original members of GK playing in the last chance qualifier for Worlds. Appjack is not kicked, but he is not playing. And I'm just looking like, what happened? Like, at the beginning of the season, I'm not gonna say that team was one of the best in Europe, but I would have never expected them to blow up like that, especially in Split 2. Like, mind-blowing what's going on there in the back end. So that will definitely be a YouTube feature. I'm gonna be a video I'm putting out in a week or so, because oh my God, dude, I have never seen an org blow up like that. And to make matters worse, because I tweeted about this, is after they fired Ixo, the manager of GK, like the head of their talent management, basically, he made a tweet, I think in Arabic, where it was like, oh, boo-hoo, cry about it. You know why you were let go. This was an org decision. The org knows best, smiley face. And everyone was like, that's a weird statement to kind of rub it in, to be like, yeah, screw you. How hard is it just to make a tweet and be like, yeah, this is an org decision. We thought it was in the best interest of GK to be able to part ways with Ixo, as we felt like the team needed a drastic change, and we decided to start with our coaching. Best of luck to him in the future, and thanks for everything he's done under GK. That's it. That's all you need to say. But instead, the guy just couldn't resist and be like, F you! Die! And it's like, all right. So that told me all I need to know about the internals of GK and why they may not be doing that hot. I'd be fascinated to know more about how Archie's time on GK fared. GM's Discord kittens or something. Not the Discord kitten. Likeable teams to... Oh, I mean, yeah. Seiko's kind of soft-spoken, but every interview he gives, he's pretty funny. And then Appjack, obviously, content juggernaut, Joyo, fan favorite player. Even Ixo is like a pro player that I really enjoyed watching, and I also casted him a lot in CRL when he came to the US. So, what? There's a glitch in this map. I don't know what's going on there. Every once in a while, if you enter the ring at like a certain angle, it won't count as you going through the ring or something. Archoso's beef with GK. Yeah, again, it tells me all I need to know about how that org is run. If it wasn't for Will, I would not like anything about that org. Not gonna lie. I shout out Will Areno. He's the guy who does a lot of the graphics for Shift. And he also, I think, I think he does all the graphics for GK as well. So, glad he's getting some of that money. But yeah, that org just seems like a soulless husk money grab Saudi org. Personally, I literally tweeted at Will today when he was commenting. I was like, you are the highest value part, like, member of that org. Hey, Court. Alpha, Mitzer, and Tempo, I guess. I mean, I think the team will be fine. I'm glad Alpha's still in the scene or whatever, but it's just mind-blowing to see that team. I'd understand if maybe, like, it was Appjack playing with two other brothers, but the fact that every single I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Like, a team from the start of the season. I'm gonna have to ask John and Direct about that. I actually don't know if there's ever been a team that has started the season with a roster, and then by the end, every single member of the roster has moved. Because I've seen it where they've changed rosters and moved a lot of people. But normally the coach stays, or they build around like one guy. I don't... Like, within the same season, has there ever been a full change? Maybe between split 1 and 2, I can see them drop. I can see like bubble teams it happening to, maybe. Like, oh, we've decided to let people go from 100x35 or whatever the frick that org was. Like, I could see that. But even then, sometimes they keep their coach. I don't know. Definitely the highest profile in my memory. I don't think I've ever seen that from an org that big intra-season. Dig sorted it? What do you mean? Like modern Dig? I remember looking up stats about Gale Force and Dignitas, and I completely forgot that Dignitas picked up Gale Force right before a World Championship back in the day, in like Season 4. Dig moved regions mid-season. We call that pulling Pioneers. Excuse me, sir, I bumped you. Are you a new streamer? No. Then please get that. Oh? That would have been very cool if I was a little bit more prepared for that clear. New sub? Hey. Not a new streamer, just an inconsistent one. Court, thank you for the gift. I'm sorry that there was no noti. YouTube actively hates me and wants my fields barren. They don't want me and my family to... Oh! I was laying that in front of the other guy, and then he drove in front of me, expecting me to hit that. I was like, my bad. I didn't think that would be an easier shot to get on target or fast enough, but... that works. Like, they didn't sign a young Evo on the bench, and the second he was able to play, the overhauled. Yeah, Evo got dumped from Dig... Actually, today, I think. Today or yesterday. I don't really know what they're doing. I think they're playing in the LCQ. I don't actually know if they've announced his replacement yet. Nice touch. Genji almost did it this season. Why am I going for a double, dude? I'm so freaking rusty, and whenever I try to be like, oh, I can double that, I'm like, wait, I should just go for the more basic setup. Honestly, Gen G is such a forgettable org. This is honestly really sad. Like, Gen G was such a good org in the scene, and they just faded. They had, it was Cheese, Magic, and Rye? No, Cheese... No, Magic, Rise, and Justin? Yes? No? I'm trying to remember. What was the roster? I genuinely don't remember. I think it was Magic. I think Cheese got dumped. And he went to Foot. Ah! Anyway. Justin, Magic Bear, Rise, and now it's Magic Bear, Evo, Frosty. But again, like, they're keeping a player, and I'm presuming the coach is the same. That's why I keep saying, like, it's weird. Like, I've never seen a full all four players, like, all four members, like, coach and 3 players get shifted out. I've never seen that before. Hi, Angie. Oh, Angie's message got deleted. That's crazy. We love mod abuse. We love mod abuse. What happens when the org just leaves again? No, but that's different. Like, I'm talking like, I don't think I've ever seen an org stay in this, like during the middle of the season, an org of that profile, a team that got to the world championship and finished top, I want to say they finished top 4. I think they lost in semis to, I think NRG. But, yeah, I've never seen an org of that profile stay in and recruit new players, but literally just clean house throughout one split. I'm genuinely racking my brain because I'm thinking back about some of the orgs. I think if you probably dug deep enough, there's probably plenty of teams that have done that with like small orgs. But in terms of like a top 8 caliber team, honestly, the coach is the one that, because I know orgs that have like dumped their roster before, but usually the coach stays. That's where I'm a little puzzled. Over the course this has ever happened, yeah. It's also funny because they didn't dump it all at once. They were like, okay, clearly Seiko, you suck, which is a crazy thing to think about. So they got rid of him. And Tempo is good, but Seiko, fun fact, is Seiko. So you can't really replace him that easily. And then what a surprise, he goes to Man City and he makes them better because it's almost like Seiko is a very good player. And so it's like, yeah, he is gonna make them better. Then you replace Ixo because the coaching is a problem. And then it doesn't improve and you're like, uh-oh. And then from there, you're thinking Joyo is too old and you get Mitzer. Oh, granted, I make a too old joke. I think Mitzer's like only like 1 year younger than him, but yeah, you see all these things kind of come together. I even made a joke that Mitsu hit that triple foot reset in that Fear 2v2 show match. And because of that, that's why GK signed him. And then GK literally made a tweet that joked about that. Like, let's look at the clip that made Mitsu a member of GK. And then someone was like, wait, what? I saw a couple of people at me after that tweet be like, yo, Taco, you called it. I'm like, well, I didn't really call it. I just knew that that was like probably just gonna be a funny tweet if I made it like that. Tempo mids are pretty good in twos. No, Tempo, no, I mean, I think people need to understand, like, the name brand of Seiko carries a lot of weight, but that is not to say that they got fleeced. Like, oh, wow, Tempo, what a dog player. Like, no, Tempo is a very good player. It's just that the thing is, Seiko comes with a lot of veteran experience. I know that's kind of like a overdrawn and cliched term, but it does carry a lot of weight in a team. When you have a player who has played on the biggest stages and I would argue has never really had a bad event, I think that carries a lot. My bad. That was pretty bad. I was trying to soft touch that, and for some reason it bounced super hard, and I'm like, oh, my bad. Yeah, we're starting to play pretty dog lately, I'm not gonna lie, chat. We're probably gonna have to end stream soon. Oh. I do just think, hi, kitty. Oh. That was a weak touch because I thought Garcia was charging me, thinking I wouldn't go for that. So I tried to just put it on target. Probably could have put a little more oomph on that. Oh. There was a Zen Atta goal in the quals, I remember, that was actually insane. I think like it was like a pre-jump from the ceiling. Like both players went off the ceiling on opposite sides in the middle of play, not a kickoff. And I think it was Zen just like got basically an alley-oop, saved his flip and like top cornered it near side. And I'm just like, the fact that they pull that off, even in comms, that's crazy impressive. Because you have to dime that pass. Nice. Over the course of 48 hours. Yeah, Zen and Atto are like otherworldly. That's probably, those are probably going to be in my next 2 videos, maybe 2 of the 3. I'm trying to put out a video by maybe tomorrow or the next day on literally just how dominant that Zen and Atto event was. Because it genuinely might be the most dominant RLCS performance of all time. Granted, it's a little hard when you're comparing 2s to 3s, but I still think it's amazing. Because it's not like they're playing in a tournament like a weekly, you know? Like, I'm sure there's been plenty of hyper dominant like RLCS weeklies or strides or whatever, you know? But who cares about that? You're playing against the very best players in Europe, like the most dense region for high level talent, and you're making them look like children. Yeah, the closest I could see to a better event was SSA and APAC has had a couple perfect runs through regionals. Not gonna lie, I was looking at the guy behind him. Toxic ruined their streak. I mean, if they went 44-0, that would have been crazy. Of all the players, yeah, to beat them, Toxic and Rezi, I think. Yeah, the best result I could see in terms of from a big league region against very high level players was Sam Fall Cup, I think of 22-23. Teams, the club, they went 9-0 in Swiss, and so 3-0 in series, 9-0 in games, and then they went 4-0, 4-0, 4-0. So they went 21-0 across the entire regional. No quals because it was points based for quals, so they didn't play any quals. But still, that's the most that's the closest I can find. I'm trying to look up like stats for like goal differential to see if like they were actively just like curb stomping anyone. Oh, Revezi, not Rezi. Oop. Sorry, teammate. Didn't mean to scare you like that. I thought Garcia was gonna, again, Garcia's like playing insanely passive and I need to get used to that. I feel like I played enough of this like lower rank 3s or 2s where like players are kind of just gonna go on that. It's like, oh, it's low seconds, I gotta go. Good though. The other players orgs are willing to let them go and they end up as teammates. Oh, I mean, that's something I genuinely think at some point in their careers that will happen. Zen or Vatira are going to leave their orgs and then form a team. I think that would be doomsday scenario. I think legitimately we would have to come together as a nation and say salary cap now. That would be the only thing I think holding it back. I bet Vitality and Carmine Core with Zen and Vatira respectively have insane release clauses with that. Like their buyout clause must be absurd. Because if you're thinking about it, like if Vitality really wants to make an offer on on Vatira and KC on Zen. I'm sure they explore that idea, but I'm sure also those orgs are like, yeah, you can do that. You just have to pay us like $10 million. They're like, okay, never mind. Maybe not that high, but I know some buyouts for some players are pretty high. Yeah, Zen. Well, Zen and Vatira, anyone would be pretty brutal, but like, yeah, with Asset, that would be actually absurd. World-ending threat. Avengers level threat, as they say. Oh! You went for an air dribble and like you had 20 boost? I don't know the thought process on that. He wasn't even going for a flip. He literally just was going for a soft touch at like 20 boost. Again, this is what I'm talking about, chat. Like, this rank does not want me to win. Good Mexican Heidi. Oh. Not much. My first day of work is on Wednesday at my new job, so enjoying my final days of being able to stream freely. Yeah, we're gonna figure out the stream schedule and all that in the coming days. Because I do not know my schedule yet, and I also don't know how exhausted I'm gonna be after work anymore. So, it's gonna be interesting. That's good. Nice to have consistent income again. Another video idea I'm gonna probably keep in the back pocket, because I also want to make sure I have a chance to make sure it's probably after Worlds, is like the greatest how are they not world-ending teams of all time. Because I think honestly this season's Falcons might be up there. I would say the number one how are they not amazing team of all time though is 2024 Vitality with Zen, Monkey Moon, and Exotic. Like, legitimately, how was that team not, like, absolutely demolishing? It's crazy that not only were they not demolishing, but they were finishing, like, 9th, 12th at a major. But I will say this season's Falcons, if they don't get at least top 6 at Worlds, I think this season's a failure. For their standards. Like a world champion and 2 major world and multiple major world finalists is kind of insane to not get any results. I wasn't really expecting them to win majors, but I definitely expect them to be somewhat close. Yes, collect that boost that wasn't there and then fail to win your 50 across the goal. Yes, that's my fault. Probably forfeit on that one. Buddy, at lock in, all right? All right, good pass. We got it back. Yeah, I think I do sincerely believe that Zen Vatira team is going to happen in our lifetime. All right, well, unfortunately, this guy is fucking useless in the backfield, so. I was trying to get the rank wards. No, I have given up on getting SSL again. I don't think it's going to happen, chat. I genuinely just don't. I think I have to grind way more, especially as an old man. I can't be getting by on my, like, 10 hours a week. Not even. Way less than that now. Okay, chat, if I lose to this guy, it's Jover. If I win, I think it's also Jover because I'm hungry. So, last game. See if we can make it count. Jump. Nice. Let's see if I can be greedy and get that boost as well. Sick demo. I'm gonna trust teammate not to be here. Sorry, buddy. I just assumed you wouldn't turn up field with 0 boost, but it's okay. Not everyone can be smart like me. Driving underneath that is legitimately the most psychotic thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm not gonna lie. You're gonna get child. I didn't like how I had to kill my momentum to watch my teammate also kill his momentum. You're not getting that. Turn. That's a heavy touch. Clear that. That's fine. Okay, boost. 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. Nice. That's fine. You want to grab that? Sweet. Click. You want to hit that across? All right, that should be open. I wasn't around it. That's fine. Nice. Okay, cool. That's the opponent that I was waiting for. Him not making a play on a touch right at him. Sorry, guys. I'm really toxic. I just can't stand... I can't stand losing with a guy and then watching him actively be competent on the other team when he's against me. So watching them mess up fills me with vindication. That's not a fake, silly. That's okay. I get free boost on the respawn. Oh, way heavier than I thought I would touch it. That's fine. Zero, literally unscorable. Literally unscorable. Thank you. We're gonna take our time, get that boost, then cut real hard in the middle. I was gonna try to soft tap that. That's fine. We're gonna play his rebound. Heavy. Buddy, what did you think I was doing? Can I play with you? Nope. I do not play with anybody. I do not know. And I'm also getting off after this game anyway. Okay. Just gotta close it out. Again, I just don't understand this dude's logic. Like, ball's on the, it's a rolling toward him, unfiftyable, and instead of just catching it to the corner, he just rolls it on the ground down the middle. Like, that's not what someone with a brain would do. That's still a goal though. Oh, it makes up for it. Okay, I see how it is. And this ball I go. No, but again, like that's how people in twos think. They're like, oh, I'm near a ball. I can touch it, therefore I should. It's like, the thing is, if his ball cam is on, which it is, he can see me going for it, which is why I get confused why people do that. Like, it'd be one thing if like your ball cam is off and you're just chasing a ball and the ball deflects into you and you're like, oh, and I can't react to it or whatever. But like, you can physically see me on your screen. Like, it's not a shock when I touch that or go for it. I'm gonna go around on this because he's gonna get that near post. Okay, he's gonna use that flip, that's fine. I'm gonna steal this boost. This dude will not get good of a flick. And Zero, you have 100 boost and you are looking right at it. Again, these people do not deserve to reproduce. He chose a very bad time to reverse. Okay, he chose a bad time. That was just awkward timing. I thought he was just standing still. I was like, buddy, what are we doing here? What? Ooh, bad touch. Ooh, I thought I could block him on the clear, but It's asking too much. Probably didn't have to chow it, but it's okay. Looking that one high, because he's gonna... Oh, never mind. Ooh, good bump. I don't like how teammate doesn't shadow defend, I'm not gonna lie. That's getting me really nervous. He keeps driving directly into every challenge, and then when he slows down, he just hits the brake. He doesn't turn at all. Why are you going for that? Okay, we're gonna slow that down, and that... That's when you turn around? Rocket League mental. It's just like, again, like I am 1v1 with a guy. He is acres away from me. And then teammate cuts me to then knock it on the ground directly at the goalie? And I'm like, wait, so the plan was what? Just hope he missed? Like, why are you not letting me bait him? Dude, it's like people do not want to win. Why are you holding it? You are He says checking out something or what? Ooh, oh God, it's my biggest pet peeve in this game. If we lose and you suck, that's one thing. But if you actively fucking MLB level throw a game and then have the gall to go in chat and blame me for not cleaning up your mistakes. God, it's this unearned confidence these freaking idiots have in 1600. It's insane. Oh my God. That's crazy. Anyway, good night, everyone.